Hi, welcome to today's program. My name's Will Martino, and I'm here pretending to be the master of the universe. I hope you'll play along. Oh, that sounded like Satan, didn't it, Maggie? Boiled again. All right, let me start over. Hi, my name's Will Martino. Do you suffer from anxiety? Are you afraid of the COVID? Do you enjoy wearing masks? Today's program, oh, wait a minute. I gotta do it again. You might think I'm here. Okay. Well, what do you think? Miracles today? Let's rock and roll. Alejandra, you're very still. She's almost like in a trance state. You see it? She's like completely in an ecstatic, sort of frozen in time experience.
Just like you. Look at you. Frozen.
You had to do it. Alejandra, where are you? I'm waiting for you for my great entrance here. Nada. Uh-oh, what happened there? Honey pie went off there. You there? Okay, there everybody is. Hi, and welcome to today's program. My name's Will Martino, and I'm going to be your host. Today, we're going to look into, do you wear a mask or do you not wear a mask? Do you vote for Trump or do you vote for Biden? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, we're going to go into the inner teachings of Qigong. Qigong is like magnetic heat. Did you ever have an amazing moment and you were just like, heart has a 40-foot field of measurable magnetism. If you become heartfelt, heart-centered, heartwarming, that sets magnetic entrainment to your body. Endless repetition of the same ideas and the same practices is the only way to go. But our minds don't do that. We want to do something else. Hi, welcome. How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay in this death-defying world or whatever it's called? Look at Alejandra. I want a picture. So how's practice? And oh, look at that here in hand. I want some acupuncture. De Chi. What does De Chi mean? Yeah? No? De Chi means when you're sensing where you're going and you're putting the needle in, it means, am I on the Chi? Do you feel it? Is it like that sweet spot? And that's a matter of X-ray vision, really. So how's practice? People are practicing and this kind of stuff, or what's going on? Anybody? Milagros. What's milagros mean, Alejandra?
Miracles.
That's right. That's the coffee shop here, Milagros. Well, hour away. We're an hour away from anything like a Walmart or a real store or police station or hospital. Over an hour. And this is Milagros. When I'm more mature, I won't like suck energy and drink in your face, but not today. So yeah, I wanted to go over, I have some notes somewhere about that. Oh yeah. Endless repetition. You got to establish a set of quotes and establish a set of beliefs and establish, really put it in stone. And then accept that I'm going to go back to this with like no end in sight. It's so irritating, really, because you want to have some kind of magical life, right? We all do. We all want to be above the fray and have everything working and so forth. And of course, that completion state, that enlightenment state is it's evil. Don't believe in completion state and enlightenment state. Maggie, where'd you go? Uh-huh. Because the subconscious mind, it says, well, of course I know I'm one with God. Of course I know that I've got some magic, all this kind of stuff. So we want to believe, enlightenment, special power, whatever you want to believe in terms of success and happiness, more money, whatever you kind of need and want, you feel is going to work for you. And that's all good, but the path advancing appears retreating, right? So it's such a key. I teach a lot of people, a lot of groups and stuff like that. Yesterday I did a group and everybody is stuck on, I'm going to take this class and that's going to be it. And, the one person in this group yesterday, she was all like, couldn't get out of bed and things like that. And she said, after taking Will's class, I'm so thankful. And I really love that. It's great. Miracles are great. I love to help us heal. But I want you to be really clear that you're not going to get to some perfection. I don't know. I think that's fantasy. Now, of course, that means that you might get to some perfection, if you can say that. But don't talk about it. The path advancing appears retreating. Go back again. Start over again. That's the beauty of the Christian deal with the new lease and the clean slate and Jesus is my savior and I'm born again. And then now you got this new life. You've got to have that kind of an experience every single day or you ain't got a shot at it. So to do that, it's a real clean the slate, erase the past, future, present sort of experience. And you accept this endless repetition. I like this quote. I like this practice. And you make it your own. The greatest challenge with learning from somebody else is that it's an offense to your ego, really. So you just want to gather information and then use that information for your great plan, But I would like you to consider finding trusted principles, people, practices, and starting over again with them all the time. And if it doesn't work with some particular person, then you can kick them to the curb or some particular teaching or whatever. It's okay, but have this idea of endless repetition. Okay, the shaman in the woods, the Catholic prayer beads, the Wudang Taoist Taiji master, the Buddhist master, the Dalai Lama, anybody that has extraordinary magnetism, a star might have extraordinary magnetism out there, but do they have it in there? If you produce extraordinary magnetism out there at the sacrifice of in there, then you got nothing. So don't worry about the extraordinary magnetism out there. Worry about the extraordinary magnetism in there. So all of these people, they all start, the sage kind of people, they all start with something that they resonate with or some teaching that they're involved with. And it's like banging out a drum. I didn't put the regular shirt off for you. Banging the drum, you know. So as usual, you know, this morning, 3 a.m., and I'm going hours. Same thing. Can somebody help me with this, honey? We're experiencing technical difficulties. We'll be with you in a moment. Now I unbutton the other one. Honey! Oh, well. Just leave it like that, Nicole. So, you remember this, huh? Churning to enchanting. Churning is you bang the drum beat out. You start with the prayer. You start with the Tai Chi. You start with your study. You start with something. You've got eyes, nose, mind, ears. You're never going to create the external life you want by doing the external life. You're only going to create the external life you want by doing the internal life. So the shaman in the woods and the prayer, everybody with extraordinary abilities, the super genius. The Einstein said, it's not that I'm smarter than other people, it's that I stay with the problem longer. Not so complicated, right? But you and me, we can't concentrate. Our concentration's about 10 seconds. You know, that's what they say in science, 8 to 10 seconds. That's it. Break, start over. So the main thing that we've got to learn is to extend the attention span within the body. And you can do that when you feel safe. To feel safe, you've got to get great contact. Great contact is Wudang Mountain, is Amachi, is grandmother, is something, somebody, is Jesus, is Buddha, is something. And the more it's tangible physical people, the closer you get. Because that allows the brain to go down into the body. Now your sense is unbound. So you're connected with the field of life right when you're talking to people, because your relationship with the field of life is more important than the attraction and repulsion with the person that's in front of you or the people that's in your life. And even though subconsciously you know, oh, I can just do that. One day it's going to stay. But the conscious mind, the software program, it's got all kinds of head trips and hang-ups. And so you have to bang out the beat. Boom, 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 boom. You have to bang out the beat. When you create music, what do they do? They create the backbeat first. What's the basic rhythm? So you want to create a basic rhythm for your personal devotion time and make everything else in your life secondary, and everyone else. Because you don't have anything to give anybody if you don't have yourself. And this is not an action that creates stress. This is an action that creates freedom. And it all comes back to that wonderful word, grace. Non-cognitive obedience. I almost didn't want to say the word, you know. Every year that goes by, all the words that I never want to say, I just say them. But that's really what the deal is. You say, I'm going to do this long cycle. I'm going to bless my eyes. I'm going to bless my nose. I'm going to bless my mind. I'm going to bless my ears. So now you have a platform and a springboard to one amazing moment. If you can have one amazing moment, it changes your whole life. So that one amazing moment is independent of circumstance because it's a biological event. It's not dependent on the external thing that you're completely addicted to creating. whether it's the relationship or the cash or the whatever. It's independent of circumstance. Now, if you can't concentrate at all, how are you going to practice? By following a map. Turning to enchanting. We're going to do physical, psychological, emotional, energy, nature, meditation. That's all. We're just going to do it. Is it going to work? No, it's not going to work. Sorry. I was teaching Katrina's group yesterday. Andrea. Oh, she's laughing. And one of the main things is, in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a shift, and we're all going to cross over into the next. That's what stops you from thinking you're going to be done with this. You're not going to be done with this. You've got to, break it down, and just be a student. Give the rest up. Give enlightenment up. You want to be enlightened? Give enlightenment up. Because in the static state of, I want to get this practice going, and I want to get this whatever going, that's actually what's stopping the progress. So you get so involved in the process that results happen, and you don't even know what they happen, because you're doing the dishes and you're lost in doing the dishes. Then before you know it, the dishes are done. But if you've got to get the dishes done and get through it, and it's not part of life, and it's just all mixed mishmashed. Turning to enchanting. All of life is based on one thing: the project of your contribution to the genetic code of humankind. What are you putting out? Do you have bad energy disease? Is that a problem? Everybody has bad energy disease. So when can have more ways, better effectiveness in venting that bad energy disease out of yourself and being relieved, profound relief, and getting support. Turning to enchanting is the method that leads to no method. It's the structure that leads to naturalness of being. So as you get better at the eyes and the ears and the nose and the mind and the connection to deity and nature, whatever your plans are, your songs, movies, you're not going to have a better religion than that. God, life, Tao, it's giving you the path all the time, but the intellect and the senses are trying to keep everyone and everything out and under control. That's our plan. But that plan is results in going to hell. So you don't really want to do that plan. You want to do the plan of having this map turning to enchanting and having a dip in magic waters, coming out of the magic waters and then sweeping the floor, have a little fun, and leave the world alone. You want to be of service, then that's the greatest way to heal the problems of the mind. Selfless service. So anyway, turning to enchanting, right? Turning is, okay, I've got this program. I like to go for a walk. I like to do the one fingers in. I like to, that's turning. You're just banging out the beat. Boom, boom. And you do it non-cognitively. You don't think about it. You do it as a duty, primary responsibility in life. It's the first and foremost thing. So then that leads to enchantment. Because just like the making of music, you've got the backbeat going now, and you've established it because you've done, 50 drum beats. So now you're concentrated a bit, and now you can benefit from the essential oil and the teaching and the YouTube and the something. Your conscious mind says, this is a lot of waste of time, and I do it when I have time. And I'm telling you, no, do this as your primary thing that you do in life. Then you are going to be healed. And you are going to reinvent. You are going to be born again. Talk about born again. That's what happens. But you have to trust. If you demand to know everything and be the one in control and figure it out, then you're doomed. Because the computer and the net, you can't self-process. The mind of the master makes everybody their mind. So you're no longer like trying to be different than everybody else. You're trying to see God or life and everything. So enchantment is the making of the music. So you can then remind yourself about that nice secret place and the book and the something, and it can thread your life, thread through your life, turning to enchanting. You add emotional content with the enchantment. It's all about emotion. Thoughts are shades of silence. Thoughts, the word, right, Maggie? The word means nothing without the Holy Spirit. So, in other words, you got to have some kind of clarity to even hear good words. So, the idea that you find in all the traditions is that when good words wash your brain, you make contact with somebody, something, then all of a sudden, all of life is teaching you. You open up again. You're not so in shock anymore to open up because you have a little more space inside, like the push hands. You can move and shake more. Turning to enchanting. Tens, fives, customized. Conscious media. Does everybody get the link to all those movies? I got 100 movies. Each one is amazing. Did you watch all of them? Or, something else. So I'm trying to develop a program that is modeled after how human healing actually happens. So this really isn't my ideas. These aren't really my ideas. Turning to enchanting is how a process begins and finds epiphany moments. Churning is the beginning. Epiphany moment is the enchanting, the fruit of the enchantment. Tens, it's about the length of the attention span. So tens means 10 seconds. You're going to just practice how much change you can cause in 10 seconds. Can you change your brain waves and pulse and hormones and breathing pattern and all that stuff in 10 seconds? If you practice now and 10 years from now, what's the practice going to be 10 years from now? Master of any art does that, right? They pause before delivery. So that's the tens. Well, thanks all for coming today. I hope that you feel nourished and Babaji. Great contact, yeah. Okay. Can somebody tell me what the wind path is? Not that wind path. Wind path of chi circulation, of energy circulation. Really important part of Qigong. I mean, we're playing Qigong here, right? So go into that. Master.
If I remember correctly, it's up the front of the body and then down the spine, the wind path.
Yep, the outside of the spine, and then into the earth out the front of the feet. So everything we're doing here has a reflection in how it naturally works. Qigong is great for that. So one of the things that is the primary Qi movement thing in Qigong is the fire path. Now that's up the back and down the front. Why is that? Because you wake up and you go like this. You go to sleep and you go like this. The chest and the head and the face and the back, it all opens up as you wake up and you animate energy. When you go to sleep, this softens into receptivity. The chest softens into receptivity and your body gets heavy. That's the fire path. So that's animating the energy as it naturally flows, rooting and blooming. In yoga, prana and upana. But just in nature, it's waking up, animating, and going to sleep and activating the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxing. Okay, well, what we're trying to do around here is to reverse that. We're not so interested in animation and getting going. We're interested in calming down and clearing our minds. You see? The fire path is great to, get rolling and stuff, but in my opinion, the wind path is much more powerful. And then the thrusting vessel. Can somebody tell me what the thrusting vessel is? Come on, Chinese medicine folks. Thrusting vessels, the spine, the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is highly conductive material, and the thrusting vessel is a super important path in chi circulation. And of course, in just normal common sense, I mean, that's your major electric cord, right? And then from that, the nerves coming out and animating different organs in the body. Okay, so the thrusting vessel is a reservoir, just like the meridians are reservoirs, rivers. So if you focus on your right hand, for example, you could fill that up with energy, just like pouring water into it. So this is what you want to do, is you want to find where in your biological biography you're kind of caught in a nightmare and you need to fill up some energy in there. If you fill up the energy of the thrusting vessel and you keep it full, that's a major contribution to health and longevity. Now, the way to fill up the thrusting vessel, the way to create smooth fire, upload of energy, download of energy, is a wind path. It's reversing it. So if you can be safe enough, content enough with all of your doings and all of your tryings and all of your failures and all of your traumas, if you can actually just sort of reverse the search a bit and start to do the wind path. Let's do 3 of them now, and we'll do more later. So start at the belly button. And imagine rolling a ball, and you develop your own methods, but for me to roll a ball up the front of my body, over the face, and then down the back, it gives me this tangible sensation. You've got to make sure that your experience of magnetic energy is tangible. Once your body is filled with enough magnetic energy, you can start to move it in space and go into your past and fix stuff, and go into your future and fix stuff. But first, you got to clean out the insides and let the outside world be their teacher, because everything's God wearing a mask, Maggie. Romans 8:28. If you're going to try to develop more power than the world and forms and personalities, then you're going to get in trouble. Find out how it's all God wearing a mask, get some support, get some safety, get some help, and reverse the look of your face to that way, like a mystic or a person in love. All right, so roll the ball up the front of the body and then down over the spinal vertebrae. And then down across the perineum, into the front of the legs, down the front of the legs, down through the front of the feet, into the soil, into the magma, into the core of the earth, into the center of the core of the earth. Up from the center of the core of the earth, up through the magma, up through the soil, up into the heels. Now, in normal chi circulation, energy circulation in the body, that's where energy would emit. But we're reversing the search so we can get this emergency assistance to ourselves. And then going up the front, up the back of the legs, pardon me. On the other side of the knees, rolling the ball, the back of the legs, perineum to the belly button, to the front, all the way up, across the face, through the head, through the top of the head, up into the cosmos. When you are free, when you're happy, the cosmos are present to your awareness because that's what's here. So then celestial communication happens. Then the cosmic download happens. The center of the body, down over each vertebra. Coccyx bone, perineum, spreading to the front of the legs, down the front of the legs, front of the knees, front of the shins, down through the front of the feet, the bubbling well point in Qigong. All the way down through the soil, magma, earth star, the core of the earth, center of the core of the earth, a lot of gravity. You need a lot of gravity to be safe around this world. And then up from the earth star, magma, soil, and there's what's in the soil, beetles and worms and all kinds of life is in there, microbes, negative ions, up through there, through the heels, back of the legs. This is definitely an advanced Qigong practice, by the way. All the way up, crossing over the perineum, crossing over the top to the belly button, up the front. You feel the ball rolling in your face, in the head, through the brain, up. If I have flowers and I put the flowers, you're getting a lot of nourishment. Well, how much are you connected to the stars and stuff? So all the way up to the stars, and then down from the stars, across the back of the head, and then each vertebra down the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so forth. Om. Now you should have a little more awareness of your body so you can adjust your posture. Sit on your perineum and sit bones. Shoulders are in line with ears. Nose is in line with navel. Have your head back. Fix the bent head thing. All right, all the way down. Front of the legs. Now, when you get to your feet, do you notice the difference between the left side of your foot and the right side of your foot? You notice the difference between your heels and your front? Your feet are doing all kinds of things. Get into your feet, get into your toes, go down through your feet, break ground right where you are. What about the soil? If you had a patch of soil and you were smelling it, you'd get some nourishment, right? So how much can your imagination be one with nature? It's supposed to be one with nature while you're talking to somebody, not any old other time. So the soil has a threshold of how well you can connect with it, just like flowers do, just like the stars do. So practice of life is to become more unbounded and recognize the inward movement of tree sap. Recognize so many things you can see. You've got to be able to live third eye open. And you can't do that unless you have a personal problem. Because if you don't have a personal problem, you have no permeability. Nothing can get into you.
William, can you let Anthony into the call?
Okay. Hi, and welcome to today's program. My name is Will Martino, and today we're going to be answering some questions about COVID and the various electoral lawsuits that are currently at play, whether they're right or wrong or good or bad, and who should be the next president of our United States. Welcome to today's program. I guess just connecting on the call now. Oh, they're not on yet. I'm doing all that for nothing. Connecting the audio. Oh, hi. Welcome to today's program. My name's Will Martino, and we're going to be looking at various implications of the Pfizer vaccine. My particular take on it is I don't mind it, except I don't like the part of the GPS tracking device. Anyhow, on to other matters.
You look very sharp today.
Well, thank you. I can't button this. It won't do it. Oh, wait, I'm going to try again. Make everybody slow down and wait again. It'd be great.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. That happens.
Multitasking this morning.
Are you selling the samosas today? You know, Upinder is the Indian cook and has the Indian food at the places.
Yeah, we're all set up, ready to roll.
Oh my God, I got it. Honey pie. Bone marrowing. I was thinking about you this morning, Anthony, as I was studying the Shishao Qing and Yi Jin Qing for the 4 billionth time. I'm starting to reverse from the path of if I buy the book again, it's kind of like a Bible. If you buy the Bible again, buy a new Bible, that'll give you more connection to God. It doesn't seem to be working for me. But there's these two books. The two best books in Qigong is the Shishao Qing and Yi Jin Qing. You can get those from Yang Jwing-Ming. And the main deal of the advanced portion is bone marrowing. You have got to reach the bones to soak the bones. You've got to calm the mind and find your bones. And so you cleanse the bone marrow and you cleanse your brain. Now, if you're in endless thought or if you're in an endless outside world, how are you ever going to have enough time to do that? Because you have to calm way down to find yourself first. Then when you find yourself, now you got all this junk to sort through.
I have a question.
Thank God.
So because everything is a practice and, you know, you want us to set it up like it's that churning, how many times if we do the wind path is that important to do in our
What
practice?
do you mean by wind path?
What you just took us through. Moving the energy to slow
I'm getting
down
a look
up the
from
front, down the
Marlena.
back.
Better not. Huh? Yes.
So
yes.
do we do it 7
That's correct.
times, 9 times, 20 times? How many times?
Doesn't matter. It's all a silly game. Just fall in love and become happy. Just leave it alone. Leave yourself
Yeah,
alone.
but then you're gonna say, guys, you need to do it routine like this.
But I'm
So
not
I
saying
could
it
do
now. No, 7, 7, 7. That's always fun. Do
Okay,
7 of the wind, 7 of the water, 7 of the fire.
Thank you.
Wind, fire, water, that order. So the practice must restore naturalness of being. Practice is a matter of discipline, and that discipline leads to freedom. It leads to the spontaneity of a child. Now, if it doesn't, then you're not doing the practice properly. So it's fine to have all kinds of practices. Actually, you know, all of life should become a practice where you're sort of on the receiving end of learning and practicing and doing different things, how you open and close a door, how you stand up, how you sit, how you breathe, how you have a relationship with energy. You can't have a relationship with energy unless you're really in the matrix thing. To be in the matrix deal means that the intellect and the senses are no longer outside analyzing like a scientist. Now you see the field. You sit here. If you feel safe and you feel okay right now, next 5 seconds, 5. Just be content for a second. Don't analyze me. You're wasting your time. Don't analyze yourself. You're wasting your time in terms of this lesson. Just have the belief that somebody cares about you is what it comes down to. inside we have a hard time believing that in this extraordinary being cared about by somebody, or unconditional love and stuff like that, you know. But if you find that, if you can choose it, you might say, oh, no way, I need more punishment because I'm definitely not good enough. I'm definitely not born enough. Bring me floggings. But that's only step one for a little bit, just to wake us up. Then you get to this place saying, oh, wait a minute. I realize that everything's okay. Past, present, future. No gaining idea. And you start to see energy. You can't see energy if you're listening to me and you're going back and forth in your head all the time. You have to be still. And still not a forced compression. That's not going to work, right? I mean, that's an element like Zen is like that. And Zen people are emotionally challenged. Why? Because there's too much discipline. But that discipline is like step one. And then you go to the step two, and now the be still is more of like an opportunity and a gift. And you're just timeless. So we do these practices to get to that place.
You say stillness, you mean stillness of the mind, like a repose, like a calm lake in the mind. And then even though the mind's calm, still able to actually more efficiently deal with all the stuff that's going on. I mean, I'm not missing anything, am I, by not thinking?
Sure I am. But you know, this is like a waterfall. And the waterfall is stopped because of the cortex, and it won't drop down there. It has to drop down. So it drops down as somebody kisses your forehead and hugs your head, and you get a blessing. Why in every tradition do they kiss the head and touch the head, and yogi puts ashes on the head? And the Tibetan stupa from the Dalai Lama, they put the stupa on the head. Every tradition, they're touching your head all the time, right? If you're upset, now you've all heard everything I've said, and I'm going to say the same thing for 20 years. But this is what's got to calm down. You see, you won't calm this down. I won't calm this down because of shock and because of addiction. So you do miss out on, you know, let's say you got to wash the car. Well, you're not going to be washing the car if you're meditating. But what I'm saying is that if you want to really wash the car and make that sustainable, where it's part of your life to do what you need to do, then you have to prioritize the calming down. Alejandro, where'd you go? Right when I said it, your internet went out. Oh, all right. The more that we go in this direction of internal practice, we were just doing the wind path. The wind path is opposite of the fire path. The fire path of moving energy is to get power going. And the addiction of the mind is that's what I need to do. I need to get power going. But it's actually the reverse is true. All you need to do is slow down, fall in love, become happy. That's it. Then you study better, you move better, you do everything better. So the priority is how are you going to slow down? In Qigong, the slow down is the wind path and embryonic breathing. Now, we did some of that wind path, and we're going to do one more right now just for Anthony and Opinder. All right, let's start at the earth core and get the sensation of the earth. And remember that the texture of a leaf and the nourishment of a cat and a friend and all these things, trees and stars, these are all the ingredients of the miracle that you're seeking. And the intellect is stopping you from being aware of these sensual nourishments. So the earth star is one kind of nourishment. The magma, that's another nourishment. The soil is another nourishment. As you gain a tangible relationship with the elements of nature, you become chi empowered. So go up from the Earth star through the magma and get the tangible sensation of what it would be like if you were near magma or near the center of the earth or near soil in a garden. And bring it all the way up through your heels, up the back of your legs. And you might want to feel the rolling of a ball so that your brain can become grounded because you're becoming embodied. Embodiment is healing. And embodiment is way harder and bigger subject than we have any idea. So you bring it up, and up to the butt, over the perineum, to the navel. So you have these station points where you stop. The heart, up on top of the throat, top of the face, top of the head, up here. You'll see reflections of this in every energetic tradition. So you've got to do something to feel into your body in a way where you're not overwhelmed, like sex and food. Bring it down from the cosmos, the top of the head, and then down the back of the head, and then down the vertebrae on the back of the neck. And each vertebra, because when you focus on a place in your body, magnetic energy goes to that place. It's a scientific fact. You can focus on your hand, you can increase the magnetism of your hand. You can raise or lower the temperature of your body. So you're gaining through enlightenment practices, if you want to say, more awareness of where the kingdom of heaven is, where life is in your own body, down through the vertebrae. That's the manifestation of your enlightenment, is your body. That's the matter of it. But really, it's without a body first. But anyway, down through the vertebrae. Good. And then down to the base of the spine, the coccyx. All right. Now we're going to go into meditation later, but for now, I'm sorry I don't have I could put a box, but to be higher level, let me get that other thing, maybe it'll work. Finally have the computer on my desk, which is way more comfortable for me. Before it was like on the side of the building over there. And now I have this nice desk here and doing everything from this, but I don't really have it all perfect set up. I'm going to try to put the box on top of this and the box won't fit. So the box just went over everything that's there. But it'll be a little higher. Okay, could everyone please rise? This is going to be for the singing of the Spanish national anthem. Jose, can you see? Uh-oh, what happened? I saw that. There was a glitch in the matrix, like the black cat thing. All right. Good. What's the matter with the right shoulder, Alejandra? Everybody's right shoulder around me.
It's really tight. I've been on the computer writing papers for the last week, so I've been kind of in this position.
Okay. Maybe this will help us a little bit. Let's bounce, okay? Andrea's going to get Lasix on her eyes. Am I allowed to tell that? I tell everything. I know two people that had that and had miracles. And one in particular was like totally life changing. So good luck. My guess is it's gonna be pretty darn amazing. They've been doing it a long time now. This next week, huh?
It's in 3 days.
3 days.
Yay! Then I can throw these glasses in the garbage.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's just see what's going on here. Great. Let's dance, let's shout, shout. Shake your body now to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout, shout. Shake your body now to the ground. But I do know that. Keep going. Without effort, there's no rest. Probably write that one down sometime. There's no rest without effort. One time, let's dance. We have to record the dancing, honey. Head. Shake the head however you can. Keep going. Shake it out. Okay. Let's see them claws. Tear me up. Tear me up. Come on. Nope. Tear me up. Come on, rip me up, will you, for God's sake? Now we're talking, huh? Let's go. You want to repress yourself all the time? Good, good. Ow, cool. Thanks, honey. Oh. Yeah. Come on. Good. 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 Okay. Good. Let's do some, what do you call them? Bench presses. Contract your stomach muscles. Contract your chest muscles. Contract everything. When you inhale, pull your perineum up. When you exhale, push it down. Another one of the most advanced things in Qigong. Learn to press with your whole midset. Good, good, good. Yeah, you have to be aware you're inside your body, right? Good. Straight fists like this. Straight fists. Good. Let me see. Keep going. Good. 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 Okay, let me see. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay. What's this one? Okay. And now, Damo, palm fist set. Just pressing the palms out in different directions. Five gates breathing is another core Qigong thing, which means the palms of feet and head. So as your mind becomes aware of your body, you're able to sort through your relational experiences, which that's the all of life. Now make fists to the side. Your inhale, perineum up. Exhale, perineum down. The core strength of your sex and your stomach muscles and all that down there is so important. It's beyond belief. And that it's a matter of energy before it's a matter of muscles and all, And that's what the talk does. That's why I like in Christianity, the idea of the word is such a big deal, because you got to get a nice talking with someone or some good words. Otherwise, the energy doesn't come into your inner body. You need to clear your mind with good words. That's what the quotes are all about and stuff. Hold it out there. Okay, I'm not going to thrust my hand in front of you, but put your palms out in front. So, one palm out, one palm back, like this. You do it to the side like this, but you can't really see me. Like this. Now look back behind you and through your palm. And now look through your front palm. Press your front palm out. Now make fists and look back through the fist and back, away from the camera. And now front of the camera. Okay. It take time, after class to think about and write down stuff. Charney New Enchanting is how all process works. Mind, body, spirit. Your routine, even if it's 15 minutes, has a little body element, little energy, little nature, because by addressing all these different levels, you're going to be able to transcend and have a nice moment easier. So you're going to have a full spectrum prep. Okay, mind, body, spirit, prep to meditation. It's all about meditation, right? Prayer hands. Right hand on chest, left hand on belly. And I'm going to check the diaphragmatic breathing, okay? Meaning that you can really do this. And you remember the lower back expands as well when you're doing it. So you can put your hands in back of you if you want to test that, because your lungs are in your lower ribs and back of you as well, right? So remember, over time, I can't see me, but I think that works. Look, my chest goes in. Almost nobody can do that. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. So over time, you can learn how to do that. to where you feel like you're getting the best hug you ever got, and the chest melts in receiving, not in being stressed and having to output and keep up. And you just, work on it. Don't expect everything now. Let me see. See how much chest is moving, Anthony? So you've got to really work on this. The chest goes in when you inhale, because the hug is the great representation, really. How can you soften the chest and soften the face into receptivity? We hardly can, because we're all in shock, Let me see. Can I see, honey? Okay. Almost. That's pretty darn good, though. Keep going. Let me see. Almost. Soften the heart, soften the heart, soften the heart. Something I learned years ago, which I think is nice. Let's do that. Tap on your heart and go, ah. You can let the other hand go. Ah. One of the first kind of real techniques that was helpful to me that I learned. The heart's a gland. Does everybody know that? It's not just an organ, it's also a gland. It secretes hormones. Keep going. Is your heart sensitive, Maggie? Okay. Just sit down a little bit. Every name of God has ah in it. Did you notice? Jehovah, Allah, Buddha, Shiva, So first letter in Sanskrit is ah. Why? Epiphany moment. Get the new eyes done. Aha. Is a very important sound. The idea of getting it right, Andrea, is the whole problem. There's no such thing. Give it up. Just forget that part. Forget that part. It doesn't work that way. All right, this way, to the back. And can you move your back? Does your back go out? I wish you were here. You put your hand on my back and you feel it. My back moves that much. See if your back moves out on the inhale. Let's see, Anthony. We're really trying to fix them bones, ain't we, Anthony? He's got a lot of progress, but nothing as much as we want, huh? Oh, that's pretty good. Good. So it's going down. The information of the eyes and the ears and nose, it's all going to the earth and growing roots. If the mind has got excessive activity, the rest of the studying, whatever, will go a lot better today. We just do this now. Touch the earth. The touching of the earth is like touching the wire of the brain to the negative pole of the earth. It grounds the brain. Can you move that, Nicole? Let me see. Yeah. That's good. Okay, let's do ribs. Can you move just the ribs? Look at my ribs. You see, my mind has control of my body that way. Can you do it? Just the ribs, look. Come on, Andrea, let me see. You do it? Oh, yeah, I thought you might be able to do it. There it is. Look at that. Alejandra's pretty good. And then don't forget the back. If somebody pushed on your kidneys right now, which are really important, right? Would you go forward? You got to be aware of that back all the time when you're moving and shaking. All right, prayer hands for the form of natural reunion. The blueness of sky. The winds, the clouds, the rain. Tangible sensations. Bow, open up to it. Gather in. And down the front, This is the fire path, right? Down the front, down through the back of the legs into the earth. Prayer hands to the earth. Open up to the earth. Grab the ground with your feet. Bubbling well, energy flows from the earth through the front of your feet. Where if you go like this with your feet, there's a divot there. That's where that bubbling well is. Kidney point, Chinese medicine. Bring it up. Of course, Chinese medicine and Qigong is, they're interrelated. This way. And up through the body and up now to the sky. And now bow to the stars. Remember the stars above you, on the sides of you, underneath you, and bring the stars up through the planet and calm the head down through the body. Prayer hands. Void. Infinite space. Turn your hands around like this. And then imagine that void, infinite space is coming down through your body, through the earth. Wash the field. Okay, when you wash the field, you should be able to sense the people, the objects, the trees. You're making contact with all this stuff that's in the air. Let me see. Keep going. So if your ears, Danielle, can hear what's out there, that's something. I'm not talking about psychically, just physically. And if your eyes can see what's out there, that's something. And then who's in your life and who's on you, where you feel it in your body. Touch them and wash them. Be the servant. That's the best way to move and shake with anything and everyone. That's good. And now, Danielle, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth. Now that was like boom, almost knocked me over. See, if we could register this, I'm sure scientifically we could see the changes in your biomagnetism at different points of the program. And right when I said that, something clicked, right? And you went, it was great. Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going. Sky above you, Nicole. Earth beneath you. So your eyes are in a divine trance. That's a requirement before you even start Qigong or Tai. That's right. Now look what's up. How about that? See? So now you can feel the magnetic energy between you and your family and you and the whatever. And you can wash it. And wherever you feel inside yourself that there's something that there's a negative dynamic with, you can wash both of them at the same time. Cool. Look at that. I think Alejandra is near God. That's why she called me Neo. She's Neo. Neoette. That's really good. So with that much transcendental perception, it must be hard to deal with conflict. You must be a very emotionally sensitive person, stuff like that. Because the more spiritual you are, the more that's the kind of empathic thing that we're challenged by. All right, so let's generate power and gravity so that we can have some roots. I'll tell the story about the dentist. We go to the dentist. Lena and I are going to the dentist for 2 months. Poor Lena's got all this stuff coming now. Like still. Well, I go there and they catch me off guard, you know. You remember, honey, where we were there a couple days ago, whenever it was, 3 days ago. Now we're going again. And were those people mean as snakes or what? She's nicer than me. She don't want to say it, but so I'm standing there and I go up there and I'm thinking, hey, I'm here. You know, I wrote 12 books. I could help this place like an idiot. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. So the lady's like, I'm not listening. I'm not paying attention to her. She's got all of these people. She's got all of these things. And she's really stressed. And she gets, what's the last 4 digits of your phone number? And I'm like, I thought Lena and I were here and like, it's time to chill and have fun. This is cool. We're going to be like, this is all right. We do our things. And she got me. So then I was mad. So every time I go there, she does that to me. So it took me an hour to process it. I was waiting for Lena. Hour and a half, maybe. I come back and I processed it through. And I said, well, that was my fault. She's stressed. She's dealing with all these people. And this is the way that they roll. Like you ever go in a government office or something like, and maybe you just want to say hi and be nice to them. Well, at first I'm blaming them, but then I blame me. Why didn't I listen better? So I listened a little bit better, a little more patiently, and I tried to understand where she's at and what's going on. So then I bought some flowers and I bought a card. And I came back there and I presented the flowers and the cards. And now everything changed, right? But I could have stayed in my being emotionally overwhelmed, or I could process it and understand where she's coming from or where they're coming from. So if you're emotionally overwhelmed all the time, then where is it in you that has this stuck spot that's not paying attention? Because if you can resolve that, you could change the world. And I have really great news for you. You have to change the world everywhere you go. You don't have a choice. If you're wondering about, whether you're a special person or you're unique and, this kind of stuff, yeah, you are. You absolutely are a privileged, gifted person in a unique way. Otherwise, you'd never be anywhere near this class. You'd put up with me for 5 minutes and you'd be done. So the mind, the criticism of trying to be perfect and all that kind of stuff really gets you to a place of suppression. And then you don't even recognize your uniqueness. So the way out is through, The way to resolve the emotional sensitivity that keeps suppressing you is to just try again. So those 2 ladies there, honey, you know me better, but you can imagine how much I've been processing their whole lives, right? Where are you, honey? I can't see you. Come on. Can you imagine how much I'm thinking about those 2 girls in those dentist office for the last 2 months? Just like constantly. Because they keep on getting me with the meanness, with the whatever's going on. And then I want to blame them. And Lena's so sweet, she probably doesn't even hardly notice it. It's like, oh, they're doing their job. They're probably just stressed. And I'm like, but I'm figuring it out on how to be a blessing there for them. And now, guess what? Now they're changing. Last time we gave the flowers and gave the Christmas card, they totally were changed. So now we're going to see what happens in the next couple of days. We go there another 4 times in the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to keep processing it, you know? I'm going to keep going inside myself and saying, how come I'm not able to pay attention enough? How come I'm not able to be quick enough? Things like this. And by taking 100% personal accountability that way, you can change the world. You just don't have a choice. You have to change the world because, you know, it's where you live. So one finger's in. Okay. Prayer hands. And now you're going to see the stars underneath you. And you're going to open up to them and open up to the stars around and above. And then the stars turn into a spinning galaxy and go into the center of your head. Prayer hands. Oh. Ma. Spinning galaxy in the throat. Ma. Hum. Hum. A spinning galaxy in the heart. Stand here, adjust your hips, adjust your feet, adjust your head, shoulders, breathing. Head top stretches up to the sky. Chest sinks in. Can I see you do that? May I please? Head top stretches up to the sky, chest sinks in. You can see how the chest sticks energy, gets stuck here. It's hard to find our body because the head to the heart connection is tough. You know, in Chinese, sin, heart and mind is one word. Then you have the yi, which is the intentional mind. You have zin, which is the heart mind. But together they're considered the brain, the heart and the brain together. So when you're standing here like this, the head goes up towards the sky, pressing up the sky, supporting the heavens with the head. And if you want to have the wind of heaven in your body, how about light and sensitive energy at the head top? That's a scripture. So light and sensitive energy at the head top. And then this one softens. Good. And what do we do? Om Ahum, like this, like this, like this. And now 1 and 2 and 3. Remember what's in back of you? It could be the convergence of all the energy. You could do it a bunch of times, you know, whatever. And you're feeling the energy of your hands. And this is pulling silk. Pulling silk, you know. Keep going. Right on top of left. Left side. Left on top of right. Good. Sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth. Sky and earth, sky and earth, and feel the magnetism between your hands, between your wrists now. And then down, one above the navel, the other below the navel. As you press, there's more magnetic pressure, same stuff as magnetism. This goes up in the sky and earth again, and then more dense, more compact. You feel the heat and magnetism in your hands, everybody? We were going to do Badwa Jin, but we're not going to make it to get to it. Otherwise, you'll be on the call with me for a zillion hours again. And I know you all loved that last time, especially Andre. So let's all sit for meditation. Bhavati. To learn more forms. Oh, look over there. And, long Tai Chi and everything, that's just fine. But the real progress is going to happen from the internal disciplines that I'm trying to teach. Oh, and now the light behind me is not. Wait a minute. We want to go on to something else all the time. Only endless repetition of the same thing develops skill. Define the quotes that you like, the physical things you like, the ways of working with energy you like. You remember 10s, 5s customized. You can practice opening and closing a cabinet for 10 seconds. You can practice your posture. You got to say 10 in your mind. Without specific structure, you will go 20, 30 years and you will never develop mastery. So you don't have to learn 20 forms and all these things. It's nice if it helps you, it's nice, but you have to learn simple things and repeat it endlessly with no end in sight and accept it. Accept it that you don't know when you're going to be fully healed or when you're going to be famous or whatever, whatever you want. And just interrupt your life, interrupt your mind, and go into your mind and body and review those quotes and do that physical action and get more of a relationship with working with energy in the psychic field. Because the psychic field is what it's all about. The psychic world is way more real than the tangible physical world. You can live third eye open. You can live where you see things in the inside of yourself. But only if you're profoundly centered and relaxed with sort of no thought of gain, You get to the place of no need to change. You remember the 7 steps? Hey, Anthony, give us the 7 steps. It was 3 steps, but it's really 7 steps. He's been learning a lot. We've been doing a lot.
7 steps.
He's good. Yeah, man.
0, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C.
Easy as do,
Okay.
me. Right. What's 0?
0 is, that's the one that I have the difficult time with. Emptiness.
There's nothing to it.
Spaciousness. Right? Void, calm void. It's almost like a place you can return to. It's always there. And then 1 is stuck list. So we do our stuck list. So basically we can come out of the calm space prepared for our stuck list.
Okay.
And then stuck list is one. So we
And
write
a
down our
stuck list
stuff.
creates the need, right, for help to come when you say, oh
Yeah.
gosh, I need to change this, or I have this problem. Okay.
Yes, it's almost like the zero gives you the insight to look inside at where you are stuck, and you can recognize. For me, mostly mental and emotional stuckness. Obviously, the physical, but memories of that guy did this to me, or why did I do that, or how come I did this? All kinds of stuck stuff. And so that's one. And usually I cycle through it, and I come to a point where I sort of naturally feel, my favorite list sort of appear. So I make sure that, okay, I've gone through my stuck list. Okay, I put that period there. I make sure I put the period so
Cool.
it has its moment in time.
Yeah, like you go so far and
right?
you're like, okay, gotta go move on. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And the favorites list is something that really profoundly, like, if I had visited a yogi, that would probably be the top right there. But so for me, it's my grandfather, his spirit in his eyes. That's the first thing. And he connected me with darshan, I believe, through Jesus. So that's like the top of the list. And then I start having memories of my dad and the ocean and other people that, they were loving and kind. So that becomes my favorite list. And that sort of opens up, I don't know, it kind of opens up a portal back into the spaciousness in a way. I become calm.
Everything gets invested into zero. Everything gets invested in becoming more timeless and spacious, because if you become more timeless and spacious, then your mind clears, you can study better, you can do anything better, you can resolve trauma better. So 1, 2, 3, ABC, the fruits of them go to becoming still and spacious, content.
Yeah, and then that sets up step 3, which just sort of develops on its own out of that spaciousness. So now I feel an emptiness develop, like a calmness. My breathing slows down a little bit. I still feel a love from the favorite list. Only it feels like, I guess, like darshan. It feels like the creation of the universe starts overflowing through me. I feel that connectedness. And then what happens is I slow down, and like, it's pretty hard to put into words, but this emptiness appears, a calmness, a peace. Then I start noticing, oh, that's a bird, a cricket, like the flowers, all the beauty around me. And then it slows down even more. And then there's this like silence. It's like silence. Kind of like when we were just washing the field. I had a moment where it was like silence, and I could feel this magnetism flowing, and I was connected. It's kind of like that, only there's just nothingness there. It's like everything and nothing exists right there for a moment. There's no thoughts. My breathing sort of shifts, and then usually it gets interrupted by some kind of a thought. The process. For some reason, I try to analyze what I just felt, and that's kind of when the third step sort of, okay, I'm grateful. And so I kind of go in and out of that. But basically, the third for me is a transition from something to an heightened senses, then to emptiness.
Okay.
That's the best way I can explain. Okay.
Love it. Thank you. Okay.
Now, okay. Now A is rooting. So when I come out of that, I feel like I'm floating. So there's a necessity for me, just an instinctual necessity to make sure I'm connected back to the earth again. All right, there's the earth, there's the magma, there's the magnetism. So I do the clawing, and I then I get to the earth. I do the pushing.
Rooting's based in conflict. Gravity and magnetism and dynamism is based in conflict. So we always gotta get better at being able to deal with conflict. Okay.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because I've definitely been conflicted with my relationship with gravity. So, I've been avoiding it. That's the whole issue with my neck, basically. So now I'm rooted, and I'm walking, and I'm feeling a sense of, love, like a true self coming out, like an energy, like an aura of just, this is who I am. This is how I feel. And so it's like a flower opening up. It's not me pretending to be that flower or that plant. It's me opening up and spreading out.
And to open up, you have to do it in people's faces, if I may. because that's what's in the air.
Yeah.
People's faces. So if you're not able to unbound right in the face of everybody and be worthy to be part of the universe and, you know, be appropriate, then you can't unbound. Okay.
Yeah, because it's interesting you say that, because I'm bound by other people, I feel. So this is the opposite of what has been sticking me my whole life, basically. Oh no, what's that other person think? Oh no, I don't want to act this way. So this is like my genuine self, not afraid to be the flower blooming, regardless of what it looks like to someone else. And you're right. Instantly, it's in somebody else's face. Instantly, there's the printing that appears. So I'm printing. For me, it's love and peace and gratitude and appreciation of my life and animals and plants, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud. And then printing. So that's what I'm printing. And then I'm also correlating with other people printing. So it becomes
the connectivity gives the power to
no.
change the neurology. That when we bloom, you're now connected with the energy that's in space. Being afraid of people and memories and futures and pasts and whatever, we can't be free and have grace in people's faces if it's more of an objectified thing. But anyway, connectivity is power. And then that gives the energy for the neurology to change things in the cells. This is how healing happens. And that then blooming leads to the printing, which is negative, neutral, positive.
Yeah, so it feels like what's happening is that the neurology is shifting. So now the printing is way different than it was before, right? I have the option of being positive. I can be neutral, I can be negative. Whereas before, I was stuck in some sort of psycho battle, like you say, right? So now I have the option, and I have spaciousness to really kind of contemplate in like a split second. There's like an infinite space. It's interesting how they coexist. So I can print. So if someone's angry and I think they're angry, I go, well, that's them. It's not me. I don't have to take their energy on. So I can print, okay, brother, I feel for you if I want, which is what I usually do, unless, and then, or I can remain neutral and just walk by, right? So I have the option now. That's what's beautiful. I'm grateful. Thank you. Because before I didn't have an option. It was an automatic. If someone's angry, I'm like, what the hell is that guy's problem?
If we feel better, it's just automatic to respond like with the negative, which is just grounding. Like, where's the battery? I came up with this teaching the other day with a group. It's great new teaching. Battery, you're a battery. So this battery is not doing all this. That's what we're taught to do. We're taught to do that's all there is. This is not negative in terms of diseased emotion. It's just the negative part of a battery. If this battery thinks it's separate from the universe, it might be mistaken because science says that it's actually part of the whole universe, So negative is just grounding. So if you feel really good, it's very natural and effortless to ground and to set a boundary. And if you're really good at it, you can do it by giving a card and flowers to the ladies at the dentist. And they don't even know that I set a boundary. But if you're not so good at it, maybe you got to process forever. But this is an important thing that's missing from everybody's solution. I think it doesn't exist, but it does exist. And then this exists too. This animation, if somebody, is worthy for you to give to them and to sacrifice for them and so forth, then you can pour power into them. So when this becomes a self-consistent loop, in science it's called Meissner magnetism. Meissner magnetism means that it's self-resourcing. So the little bits of your mind and body that are stuck with that relationship and that thing and this, that, and whatever you did and they did and he said and she said, it's like this positive thing not being self-consistent or this negative thing not being, and it's like going over there. It's not recognizing that it's self-contained and it has its own life. In science, Meissner magnetism means a magnetic field that's so self-resourceful because it's about resourcefulness, not resources. You might think it's about resources, right, Maggie? You need to get resources, everything. It's not about resources. It's about resourcefulness. So once we're self-consistent, we say, well, I'm going to be responsible for myself. I know it's a revelation in my life. And so how do you do that? Well, you got the sky and the earth, and then your insides start to change in such a way that you're self-consistent. So now you're not like in the field of psychic magnetism caught up with the thing that's diseased in your mind and body and the thing that's diseased in his or her mind and body as being the only thing there is. Remember, the proper container for relationship is nature. So if you're boundless, if you feel good, now these negative, neutrals, and positives things in terms of relational communications, they happen by themselves. So you don't have to figure it out, was what I was trying to point to. It's the spontaneity of a child that learns faster than us and does everything with, better learning ability. I don't know what the science is on that, but what is a child learns 10 times faster than we ever could. So Savasana learning, I call it, being super calm and finding out what this person's saying. So initially when the dentist lady said this thing the last time, what's the last 4 digits of your phone number? We've been there 10 times already. And, so what I just got all whacked out about it and got mad at them. But then I processed it and I said, oh, well, maybe I should listen more. So now you know that a diseased expression of emotion is an unmet need. She's afraid. She's got relational issues. She's doesn't make much money and slaves for people getting their teeth drilled all day long. Everybody has unmet needs. So the compassion dawns. And compassion might be, in the easy way to understand it, the format of giving the card and the flowers and me sort of making it a rule. We're not going to communicate with each other anymore like that. I'm making the rules now. So you have to be able to do that. To think that you don't take charge or things like that means that you're not, putting the needle into the patient. So leadership and authority, that stuff is a bad word nowadays. It's not true. Of course, there's leadership and authority in any skill, in any art and science. Find out how it has to do with your psychology and your love. So the printing part is the most difficult to understand. How you're going to have engaged dynamism with people and be a walking dynamo of safety and healing. I don't know how to do that.
What's beautiful though is that through the process, and for me, shifting to a spaciousness when there's that relationship with the printing, the relationships change, and it's like different doors are opening through relations with other people. And when I see that the door's shut because of whatever, the cycle stuff, that is an awareness of a stuck list spot.
Yeah.
So
but when you get done to
cycle's
0, 1, 2, 3, ABC, then you start it again in form with other people.
Yeah, but right, the being like confident and strong and having my own position, at the same time being receptive and compassionate, that is it's difficult. Because I feel selfish when I'm, being, this is how I feel, and then I feel like I'm selfish, right? And then if I'm compassionate, I feel like I'm a pushover, right? So anyways, I'm still learning. I start all over again, and yeah, it's fun for me now. That calm, empty space, beautiful. I can't put it into words, but oh man, now that's a place I want to return to as much as possible. So I'm going to keep practicing and just let that calm, spacious place be, because it is a great place to be. My God, what a relief. Whew.
Your memory, your processing speed, your energy, your sleep habits, your eating habits, everything, it all spontaneously organizes. Because when you give a lot of space to somebody's mind, for example, our own mind or a friend's mind, it spontaneously heals. It's all about the grace thing. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Thank you.
So I'm going to use your example of the dentist office, because we've talked about in a situation like I just need to comply instead of resist.
Yeah.
So would your way of complying be going into the dentist office ready with that number right off the bat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the next time we go, I'm glad you said that, so I can remind myself for the 100th time. I have to be right on point, because for some reason they're going to test me. because they have a lot of build up negative stuff or whatever. And for me not to get taken off my square, which is dangerous, I have to somehow work through my own distortion, disease, disfigurement, lack of education, lack of listening, so forth, so on, and honor that person and be like, I'm giving you 100% of my attention and I'm ready, go. Now, maybe I'm going to be revealed as being confused or not so smart. Maybe she asked me again and I can't remember my phone number. My phone number is 2123, the last 4 digits. I couldn't remember it for 4 seconds. And she rolled her eyes. You know, after she hit me with, I was like, and I actually didn't remember my phone number. So, yeah. And so maybe I fail at it, but I think that that's really the best that you can do. The phrase that I have written down in my endless notes for that experience is out comply, which means that I comply beyond the need of the person on me, that I generate enough foresight and vision of the future that I can see what they're going to need, and that I comply more than what they need. That's how you get the free pass. And I want the free pass.
I have a question about that topic.
Mm-hmm.
But then what if the person on the other end uses that in a negative way? What if you're complying and you're doing your part, but it's kind of like used as a weakness in you? How do you discern how to react in those circumstances?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can babble with you, but the intuitive understanding creates 2 worlds of perception. One is Atmic perception. Atmic perception is Romans 8:28 in the Bible. All things work together for the good of those who love God, and so forth. That's Atmic perception in Sanskrit. In Wu Ji in Taoism, spaciousness. It means that everybody's God wearing a mask. Everybody's trying to teach me. Okay. Then the other thing is discernment in the relative world, right and wrong. If you think there's no right and wrong, then better get some coffee or something. So discernment means I'm subject to the pointing finger of the law because there's plenty of wrong things with me, and you're subject to the pointing finger of the law, meaning that you can't remember your phone number quick enough and I have things to do. All right. Now let's say that the person is going to use that, which they're going to. They're going to use that to try to take advantage and be abusive. That's the nature of the human being. Because everybody is a drug addict. Everybody's only wants more. All of us are starving, basically emotionally. If you learn to purify yourself and you become more self-consistent, then you're not as starving and craving for energy. But when they do that, then you can acknowledge inside yourself. Now this is, I don't know if it's complicated, so maybe write something down, but it's push hands. Where is it in you that they're touching? Well, when she did that to me, it was my lack of cognitive awareness and whatever else that works at. And I could feel it in this place in my body, and that, you know, you should be able to feel your problems in your body, the emotionally and cognitively. You should have a map of things that are in your mind and body that are just hardwired in a messed up way. So when conflict comes, you should see that that's the agitator on the washing machine right there. Now, once you say, oh, I accept the agitation, I was not paying attention, I did this wrong or whatever, or, you know, they're calling you out, you know, on some kind of thing that is not right in you or not good enough in you, or that they judge you for and that you buy into, or that's actually true. All right, so now it's agitating, like if I push on your arm and you don't move your body. Now it's an agitation and it's dangerous. Could cause trauma. That's how trauma is caused. All right. So you acknowledge in you, and you also acknowledge in them. Once you, like, I'm accepting my role with them more all the time. So in doing that, do you think they're doing that? I don't know as much as I'm doing it. That would be not. So that means I'm going to be on the upper side of the energy. That means I'm going to clean the whole place.
But it's my responsibility. Dr. Hugh Len, the guy that emptied the psychiatric hospital, they had to close the hospital. And they said, what did you do? How come all these people got healed? And he said, what did you mean? What do you mean? What did I do? I'm just recognizing I have a mortgage on my soul and I have one more chance to free myself by doing the cleaning. So they poke at you or they say something to you and you have that chance. Now, if they are the direction of abusive after a certain intuitive line, then you can knock their head off. That's the science of dimmak and fighting. Once that thing overextends enough, you have a lot of power to be able to tell them no and back it up. If you, in fact, can accept their projection. So in working with the cage fighter, Ben, and stuff like that, it makes me giggle. Because it became so easy for me to just accept. Well, of course, I worked with them a number of times, so I'm not saying I can do this with, whoever, they'll just kill me. But I worked with him enough times where I accepted his stuff. I barely raised my hand and I'll hurt him because I could see his body. So it was really easy for me to define where to strike. So you could say, no, we're not doing that. Now, if you do it perfectly, there's no fight and you do it with a card and flowers. But that was certainly my intention with the card and flowers. I'm trying to take authority and saying there's no reason that you have to do that all the time. We can, I did my part now. I get it. You're faster than me. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. That's the thing in Ho'oponopono, how the guy healed the hospital. He said, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. So, if you do this sincerely, you'll find that you actually are wrong in some area. Now, most of the time we can't be wrong. We can't really be wrong or incompetent or something. That's like the last thing. We just don't do that. But I'm finding that that's actually the nectar of enlightenment. I said the other day, which makes me laugh to this minute, personal humiliation is the path of enlightenment. So, but that doesn't mean that you don't then set the boundary. So put your hand up like this. Put your hand up. I'm going to push. Ready? Nothing. No response, right? So I asked for your phone number and you were like, "Ah!" So now you're in my way. I've got a dentist's office to run and you can't remember your phone number because you're not paying attention. You're not responding to me. So that's your fault. That's my fault. Even though it took me an hour to figure that out, that's my fault. And I was angry, bad energy, and it released bad energy in me. Well, did they create the bad energy? No, they didn't. Even though they were in a wrong kind of behavior, and she was in a wrong kind of behavior, the bad energy that evoked in me was mine from stuff that's in me. So I had to say, okay, I need to change this. I need to find, not with the discipline of the Christian cross and that I'm bad and a sinner and without grace. That's not Christian teaching. Repentance and grace fuels repentance. Apostle Paul, chapter 4, Romans. So when you have this thing of I am worthy and you are worthy, I love you, you love me, we love each other, there's kindness, we're friends, we're the same species, stuff like this, then it's okay. You have to be imperfect. If the other person can't allow you to be imperfect, then where's the relationship? So then you try again, hand up. And now I push. Nothing. Same thing. So that's like me at the dentist's office. Same thing every time I go back. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because, we just drove an hour and 20 minutes on a super dangerous road and we're singing Mexican songs and we're singing whatever is going on, and we're having a blast. And I've got like this serious omni vision. So even though it's a dangerous road, I basically drive in another world. Even in New York, I drive in another world because I'm in Philly. It's just, even if it's fast motion, I can do it and nothing gets near me, basically, ever, basically. Behind me, side of me, in front of me, nothing. So I drive in a different universe. So driving is basically, hopefully it stays that way, is a really fun thing. So we're having all this meditation, right? And we're having all this fun. And then I get there and I'm like, hi, and they're busy, they have work to do and stuff. All right, hand up. So it's taken me repeated applications to remember that I have to respond as soon as I'm touched. Exactly. So now if I was doing something wrong, you could set a boundary. You could say, you know, Will, you're a little harsh sometimes. I wish you would just tone it down a bit. And then I might have to say, okay, I'm sorry. And then I could, because I'll listen to you because you got the energy. You see? So the path advancing to make an action, a boundary, or a permission with someone else is path retreating. No solutions, no completion. Okay. Subconscious processing power eclipses conscious mind. So if you're a dreamer, like you're all are dreamers, then you know that subconscious matrix world, other world stuff. But how are you going to match that with the conscious world of fury and chaos? That's the key. How are you going to be in your mystical world that you have and be able to move and shake? Well, we gave an example of it with Maggie, and how you can do that. So then you become, like the Guru of the Beatles always said, the water, the ocean, and the wind comes, and it's your responsibility to respond one-to-one, immediate response to this person and that person and this personality and this demeanor and that attitude. You have to respond one-to-one. The water meets the winds. And when you feel really good, it happens all by itself. So for you to make this work in the outside world, for your relationships and everything, it's just meditation. It's not the skills and the learning and the education in the outside world. It's just, can you calm down? Can you center? Can you feel cared about? Can you receive healing energy from your My Favorites list? So please begin to lengthen your breath now. And I don't know what I'm going to put on here, but I think I hear Lena in my mind saying, the Chinese music, the Chinese music. She likes that one for the class. Where is that Chinese? Oh. Slow down and you can turn all your videos off. I'll put screen share on in case you want to see. Sensing the airflow in and out of your nostrils and seeing the light through your eyelids is what's here. So it's not some technique. If you're present to what's here, those are main things you're experiencing. Also, you're experiencing your body and nature. Don't go into the mental world and the psychic world and the transcendental world just yet. This is step 2. Establish your ground before you go into these other things. Everybody's psychic, everybody's in the energy world, everybody's in the transcendental world. You don't need to hardly even worry about that. Worry about this place where you are. And lengthen everything. If you don't see the light through your eyelids, then you're wandering in thought too much. Light through the eyelids, nasal airflow, embodiment, slowing down more, relaxing more. Body is heavier on the exhale. That's another thing for endless repetition. More energy and heavier, like deep sleep. But you're awake. Find your body. Every time you get lost in your mind, keep finding the earth and the body and the nature. Let the cosmos, let the wind, let the energy of life into your body mind to repair and maintain and upgrade.
Once you have tangible contact with the earth, the power of the earth comes up through your body and you begin to feel lighter and you start to open up. Now you can begin to make great contact. Imagine you meet the Taoist master, Buddha, Jesus. What do you like? Your friend, a loved one. Become specific, split time, pay attention, and make great contact because it's all in the transmission. Meditation doesn't start till step 3. And step 3 is such great contact with an amazingly wonderful scene in nature. You're on vacation somewhere, laying in the lounge chair, something. And it's just timeless. You don't have a understanding about anything. It's just you're being catered to. If you've had amazing progress in some time of your life, don't get so worried about what needs to yet to be done that you forget to enjoy that. Natural pauses and sighs of relief. Have suspended animation. Have no thought. 2 seconds, you could do it. 3 seconds, just do it. And then profound relief where you land in your body and you find more gravity, more magnetism, more energy, more refreshment so that you can do your study or you can find your way with the challenge on you. And then do it again. Natural pause. Some kind of happiness, contentment, satiation. No future, past, present, anything. I naturally didn't breathe from the last time I talked to now, and my mouth is lit up like a Christmas tree.
It's Amrita. Sweet taste in the mouth, body. Hormonal nectar. When you have a nice moment and you bring it back into your body, there's this gravity and dynamism that becomes your personal presence, and then you can preview what's necessary, what's next, the subject, the communication, the relationship, the duties, something. You start to pre-print because your experience of life is more psychic than it is physical. If you have this third eye open kind of thing, Qigong, the spirit valley is the center of the brain. The pineal gland, all this stuff. It's just real natural experience. You don't need to know much. But when you are in the dream place and you see your life, well, that's what happens towards the end of meditation. You develop this grounding and magnetism and stuff because you're entering your body from the transcendental experience. And you just see, oh, this relationship and this duty and this circumstance and this. What am I going to do? How am I going to do that? And you become the recipient of the information and knowledge on how to do it, You let it tell you what to do. If you could do it enough, then you come back and you hit the books and you do the whatever, and you're in it again and you're refreshed. It just takes one night good sleep to reset everything. So that's what meditation is, conscious sleeping. Now we know that it's all in the transmission and that you need to look at Wudang Mountain and what that's about. And it's all a game, but you got to play that game. And different sages and, books, something. Movies, there's movie links I sent out, 100 awesome movies there. And that's it. And like Anthony said, you just start over. You just kind of like ground and say, okay, well, that was wonderful. Didn't solve all my problems, but it was very nice. And let's keep on keeping on, huh? Video's on for any kind of closing comments, questions. I will turn the music off. Babaji. Well, maybe everybody just wants to meditate. All right, I'll leave you to do your own thing there, and we'll see you all next time. And don't worry. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Shaka.